and we'll get started in like a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so thank you to those who shared that in the chat. That's great. So now we know who we're talking to. My name's Jose Hernandez, right? Yeah, so I'm just gonna get started here today. Even though most of you are graduate students, this should still help you out. If you have not used our high performance computing center and don't know really what it is, don't worry about it. I'll be talking a little bit of an overview about what we are as the Research Computing Center, what we do, right? And what is our driver's ed course and how can you use it for your own students if you are a TA or if you are an instructor in a future course. Okay. So yeah, let's dive into it. Also, if you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand. We're a pretty small group, so feel free to stop me, put it in the chat, or anything else would work. Okay. So yeah, let's get started then. So my name is Jose Hernandez, as I said. I'm the digital humanities specialist here at the Research Computing Center. I'm a member of our software team, which means I just help out with user interactions, right? Teaching users how to use the system, installing new software for users, maintaining that software, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, but today I'll be mostly just facilitating this and talking about our educational side of stuff. Mm. Now, what is the Research Computing Center? We're a unit of ITS, right? We were originally a division of scientific computing back before 2013, and now we host and administer the main supercomputing research at Florida State, which is our high performance computing system. If you have used it before, that's great. If you haven't, a high performance computing center, basically the way it works is that you submit jobs, and that means you submit your data with the program that you want to run. Let's say you want to run a Python or an R program or any data you have, you send it in to our servers, right? And the very abstract, just shoot it there, and then the output is returned to you as whatever you wanted that program to be. And the benefits of this are many, right? You can offload work from your computer onto our computer, so that way your computer is free to do whatever you need to do while that program's running. You can run bigger programs. You can run parallel programs if you have done that before. Yeah, and there's multiple ways to access it, right? So we have the command line, was the original way of accessing the high performance computing center, but we also have a graphical interface called Open On Demand. And it's critical for you to understand how these work together. So the Open On Demand just presents the graphical interface. You can see it up here, right? You get a very nice looking desktop that you can interact with your files. You also can use Jupyter notebooks on here, RStudio, MATLAB, et cetera, et cetera. So all the programs are there for you to use, and you don't have to go through the command line if you haven't used it before. Okay, so these are the two ways we have of accessing our high performance computing center. Any questions till now? All good? I know I can go pretty fast, so I'm just taking breaks in between. We can get any questions there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Also, for those that just came in new, please feel free to put in the chat your current role, if it's graduate student, TA, faculty, et cetera, and that way we'll just get to know each other a bit better. Okay. Okay, so after ways to use it and log in, right? We have, as I said, we have the different applications, right? You get the desktop, MATLAB, yes, Stata on there, RStudio, Jupyter Notebooks, right? And you access it on this URL right here. So ood.rcc.fsu.edu. And we also have a series of docs, right? We have a documentation website, so you can find it here, right? And then we have more apps than just those, right? So we have data humanities specific ones, Open Refine, which is for parsing data, and then all the other ones I already mentioned, in addition to ParaView, the Spider. If any of you do like serious Python coding, you may have Scanner Spider before, PyMol, etc. Okay, so those are the open on demand softwares that we have. There's also a ton of softwares additionally to this, right? That is just accessible to the command line that only particular people or research groups use. You may also fall in this bucket that you use particular softwares, and we also have those, right? So just refer to our docs to any softwares that we may have that are not on this list. Okay. So some use cases before we go into how to the education side of stuff. We've had HPC enabled research throughout campus. So here you see 3 examples: molecular biophysics, population genetics, music, right? So these are actual research groups we have on campus. We also have some specific to digital humanities, so history, political science, English, right? And these are all either high hosting or we're trying to actually parse and do some data discovery through them. Okay, but now let's talk about why you came here for, right? The assumption is that you know what high performance computing is, and you either want to teach it to yourself if you don't know it, or you want to be able to teach students how to use it. For this, we made a course called the HPC Driver's Ed, and this course contains 7 modules, right? You can see them there on your right-hand side. The first one is intro. So basically the beginning 2 minutes of what I taught you today, in addition to other services stuff of what we do. How to log in through the terminal, how to log in through Open On Demand, how to troubleshoot. And then we decided to make 3 modules specific to software. So our 3 biggest softwares are R by terms of users, R, Python, and MATLAB, right? And then, well, those 7 modules, we picked and matched them to make 5 possible courses, right? So people can either take the complete HPC driver's ed, which is all 7 courses. You can take the first 4, right? And that's how we divide them. So you can see that on this chart, right? So you see on the first course, Fundamentals of HPC, you get the first 4 courses. So that's everything from intro to high performance, how to log in with terminal, how to log in with the portal, and how to troubleshoot. And I'll show you how each one of these looks in a minute. And then we separated it into multiple courses. So you have fundamentals on R, fundamentals on Python, fundamentals on MATLAB, and then the complete one that is the 4 fundamental modules plus the 3 software specific courses, right? Each one of these modules consists of anywhere from 1 to 4 videos. These videos are made by me and the other education research staff here at the Research Computing Center, as well as the docs, which have been monumental, right, at keeping us on track and keeping all the information together. Okay, so I'll show you how this looks both on our website, the docs website, and on Canvas. Right, the idea is that you're able to use it. So I'm gonna escape here, right, and I'm gonna go into our docs.rcc page, right? So you can just go docs.rcc.fsu.edu. Can everybody see my screen here on the overview docs page? Yes. Looking at the chat quickly.
Jose.
Yes, thank you. No, perfect. Yeah, so this is our overview docs page, and there's a lot on here. As I said, you can search through our entire docs. There's a software catalog that we've divided by section. So you see Python specific software, libraries that we have, tons of applications and tools. I'm going to leave you to explore that if you want to, okay? But we have another tab called HPC Drivers In, and that is our 7 modules here. So you can see that we have an intro, right? So this is the welcome. This explains what's there. And then it goes module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? All the way to troubleshooting is that last one. And there's quizzes with each of these. So let me show you the structure for these. The modules each have the video and then the documentation that they're referring to. Most of these documentation links will take you to different parts of this same doc site, right? The exception for that is mostly on the Python, R, and MATLAB, because we also included the general docs for all of these. In case you have questions that are not answered by our docs that are software specific, but not implementation specific, we wanted you to have these docs here for you, okay? So that is the general docs there. Okay, so this is how it looks on our docs page, right? So it goes through all 7 modules. That's the structure. Each of these has a quiz at the end, and there's a final quiz that you can take, right? So each one of this says quiz, and those will shoot you off to a Google form where you can fill it out. And at the end, you get a nice certificate saying you're certified on how to use our computer, or HPC drivers that's certified. You get a nice little completion certificate, okay? Now let's go to Canvas. I'll teach you how it looks like over there. I'm assuming most of you have seen how Canvas looks on the instructor side. So I have the instructor side enabled, right? And these are just a couple of courses I've been working on that I've had permissions before to use. To import our courses into Canvas, you're going to go to Canvas Comments, right? On your left-hand side should be the last button before Help. Okay. Give it a minute to load, right? And particularly useful here is to filter beforehand and just click on Florida State University, right? We don't want to see any cross from any other university that is releasing material related to this. So once you filter for FSU, you can go ahead and write HPC, and that should bring up our 12 results, right? So you should have all 7 modules in addition to the 5 courses. And you can see it's the same structure we had before. So you see each of the courses from fundamentals. This is the fundamentals course right here, to each one of the Python, R, MATLAB courses, and the complete one. Same thing with each module. Okay, so let's go on to the first module, which is Intro to High Performance Computing. Right, so this is the original module, right? You'll see each module has the same structure. It'll have a module overview page. There we go. And these actually port over in the FSU format. So I'll show you how that looks in a minute. It has the accounts, the quiz 1, and then quiz 1 will actually give you feedback as the instructor, right? So if you were to port this over, so I'm actually gonna import it, right? So I click import, decide where do I want to import it. I'm gonna pass it into my own fundamentals of our performance computing course. Once you hit import into the course, right, it may take a while for it to load onto your actual course, but thankfully they're already there, or should be there, right? So once I go onto my course, you can see here's that module for Intro to High Performance Computing. And the structure is very similar to modules that you may have for your own materials as an instructor, right? So you can unpublish and publish this module, or you can unpublish and publish each item individually. You can also, each one of these, in addition to the videos, has a module overview, which is separate to the rest of them. So you see that it explains what each module is. It explains what each module accomplishes. So for example, in the Intro to HPC, they will create their RCC user account. They will log in. They will understand the basics of HPC, and they will understand what services we offer for them. Okay, see something in the chat. When I press import, the courses not come up. Okay, so let me finish this one, and then I'll go up to that one. Okay, and we'll do it again. Okay, so this is the structure for that one, right? And if you were to go back to modules, you'd be able to see the quiz at the end, right? And this is the same thing as any other quiz that you have on your own resources. You can then change the questions, you can edit them, and you can also change the assignments to be graded or non-graded if you just want us to be a participation thing for your classroom, or for your students or for yourself, right? So now that's covered. Any questions on the structure of it and how it looks on Canvas or Driver's Ed on our docs? that's so clear. I'm just gonna address the question from Kimberly. So you said when you press import. So let me go back to the Canvas comments. Right. So you said that the course doesn't come up when you search HPC, or is it after you do that?
I
You can go
searched
ahead and mute yourself.
HPC and then I clicked like the introduction to the HPC course, and then I pressed the
Okay.
import button, and it only shows the previous courses that I've been allowed to access.
Yeah, so it imports into a specific course, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you'd see it import to somewhere, right? So when I pick the module, it said import, so it will just throw the information somewhere in one of your courses, right? The idea is that you would integrate this into an already existing course, so you can publish it for your students over there. Yeah, so that may be why it got lost. That answers your question? You good there?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Also, remember to please filter by FSU, because if not, you'll get a lot of these. I assume this is a high school and their courses, which have a similar abbreviation to ours. So just make sure to filter here on Florida State. Okay. So for those who weren't here already, I realized two of you arrived like while I was in the middle of explaining this. So I'm gonna go through what a complete HPC driver Z looks like, so you can have an idea. HPC driver Z takes you from logging into the HPC to being able to submit your own jobs, right? So you'll see each module takes that approach, how to log in, how to log into Open On Demand, troubleshooting, Python. And the idea for us is to make this completely modular. That's why we publish each module individually, and then we made the courses. The idea is for you to mix and match what makes more sense for your students or for yourself. If it is not using any of the three software ones, right? Because you don't use Python, MATLAB, or R, or you use something different in your class that you want to focus on, then you would just pick the first four modules, right? So intro to high performance, using SSH, using Open On Demand. Open On Demand is a graphical user interface, and then how to troubleshoot are your own jobs, right? Or how to ask us for help. So we have their guidelines on how to ask for help. You can see the asking for help module, and that will actually give you a very good video lecture on what we expect when you reach out. And what do we do when you reach out? And that is something that users sometimes don't understand. Is what do we do once you send us an email? Right? What do we start doing on our end? So this explains that pretty well. And it gives you some documentation pages for how to reach out, how to submit a ticket for us, and also how to submit more information if it is needed, or what information we may ask you to submit to solve your problem. Okay. So that is it. If you are an instructor and you have been able to import a course, that is great. If you have not, please ask. That is what we're here for. It's more of a workshop than anything else. So if you couldn't, or if something went wrong, just let us know. We're here for that. So that is our, I'm gonna go back to the presentation. So that is the Canvas Commons walkthrough, right? And this is the module summary for those that came midway and didn't see this slide. That's what I was talking about in terms of the structure of the actual course. Now, any questions? No. I'm good. Then yeah, thank you for coming. If you have courses coming up that you're the TA or the instructor for, feel free to send me an email. And feel free to send me an email. I'll pop it in the chat in case you have questions and you want to import your course later and something goes wrong. Um, you can send it there, right? And how to, in case you want to import some of these course materials and it doesn't work out, just let me know. Yeah, and I hope this is useful for your own edification, but also for your students as well, which is our point in making all this. And if you want to go through the quizzes and get sent a certificate, also let us know. It should go out automatically if you finish that final certificate on the on our website, not on the Canvas, but on the website. It should give you a final certificate of completion. You are done, right? So that's really nice if you go through all the modules. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. And if you have any
Hi.
questions, let us know.
Hi, Jose. This is Daljeet.
Yeah, hello.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I joined a little late. I guess I missed in the beginning 10 minutes. So you said these are the courses that'll be showing up in our Canvas that we can take?
Yeah, so we made an HPC driver's ed course, which takes students through how to use the high performance computing and how to submit jobs on our cluster. And these courses are on Canvas Commons, right? So if you have instructor permissions for Canvas, you'll be able to access them through the Canvas Commons site. So that's what let me just walk you through that there second. So if you go through the Canvas Commons, it should be this button on your left-hand side right before help, below your on your courses there. So once you click on Commons, it should pop up this search screen that you saw there.
Right.
And you can search for our HPC courses, right? So once you plug in HPC, you get our Research Computing Center courses on there. And these can all be imported into your own courses. So there's no need to make a new one for your
Okay.
students. You can import it straight into whatever course you're giving as a TA or instructor, and provide the quizzes that are on there as part of the assignments for your own students. Or if you just want to use the videos, that's fine too. But all of it is here for you to use if need be. So
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Sure, I'll definitely have a look at that. Thank you so much for
you got it.
going over everything.
So yeah, and that's basically it. And each of the modules and courses has videos on it. So we created a video lecture series. So if you go to each of these, you'll see the video lecture with
Wow.
with its transcript and the docs for each one. In this case, if it's R, you'll see all of our documentation on there. And that's the case for all of them. It's a series of 22 videos all in all, but feel free to mix and match as it makes sense for your course.
And that's amazing. Currently, I'm an intern with FSU, so
Mm.
so this could be accessed for myself as well for learning, I guess. And if I don't have
Yeah,
access, can I reach back to you, Jose?
It would
yeah,
be on our
definitely.
documentation site is the preferred way. If you don't have
Yeah,
access to Canvas, you want to switch over to that, Jose?
yeah, definitely. So on our docs site, so that's docs.rccfsu.edu. You can find the same information, same video, same quizzes, everything is exactly the same between the two things. And you can click on HPC drivers at up top. So actually, let me put that link.
Link
Oh,
in
thank
there?
you, Alex. Popping the link in the chat.
Oh, it is
And
there.
you'll
Okay, let's
see,
see.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if you click on HPC drivers ed on that top menu, that will give you the whole course. So it's the same 7 modules, everything from how to use it down to troubleshooting. And you get videos for each one as well as documentation pages for all of them. Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, and
Thank
yeah,
you
that's
so
the best
much.
way. If you have any students or people who come to you for reference and they can't access the Canvas one, then this is the same exact material. You can send them to this one as well.
That's great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Pleasure is
And
mine.
we'll work it out.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody have any other questions? I know I went through some things twice. But yeah, that's the whole of what is the driver's ed course, what is contained in there. If you have any questions about specific content, I can go over them, what's inside each module. We have a lot in there. But if you have any particular questions, then I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah.
Well, for wrap up as well, we are recording this webinar, so for those that have attended or are interested, we are able to make the recording available after we finish.
That'll be great, actually. We'll appreciate that if it is possible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop sharing. I'll be around here for a while if anybody has any questions, but that is it. Thank you so much for coming. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach us at support@rcc.fsu.edu or reach us to the specific to each of our specific emails. Thank you for coming. And I hope it helps either you or your students learn how to use HPC. Thank you, Marcelina, popping that in the chat.
I'm gonna stop the recording.
Perfect.